tight together. Again, I go back to this shot right here, the bright green, the bright kind of apricot pink color. That's a tornado. And we likely had a tornado out in this zone. But as we go forward in time, you can see the rotation getting more broad. Now, it passed right through the far south side of Frankfort, right there. Right there it is. There may even, I mean, we'll wait and see if we've got damage in this area, but even there it was pretty tight, just not as tight as it was towards Manson. Still a tornado warning on this, but the rotation is here. It doesn't look as tight. Now, it may tighten up again, and if you're within any of these polygons, whether it be the red one or the lavender one on this side, you want to be in your safe place. You still want to be in your basement. You still want to be in an interior room, have as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And granted, you know, you look at these signatures, do they look like violent, strong, EF4, EF3s? No. But remember, an EF2 can do a lot of damage. They're dangerous. EF1s are very dangerous. You want to respect them all and get to your safe area. Otherwise, other than the tornado warning we've got for Clinton County now, we've got the severe thunderstorm warning up here in Fulton and northern Cass. So let's wipe the radar data back on the screen. Here we go. There it is. All right. So here we are. We're at 11 o'clock. We're sticking with the coverage. We've had damage in the area. If you're just joining us right now, we've had 7 people injured at Royal Center when a tree fell on a van. We had a building collapse in White County. We had some roof damage near Chalmers. We've had a lot of trees down. There's probably more damage than I can even report right now, and some of the gusts were likely a lot higher. I can tell you that one instrument measured a gust of 66 near Earl Park. We had a gust of 53 down here at Covington, 62 at Round Grove, 56, I believe, at the White County Airport, and gusts exceeding 50 here at the Grissom Air Reserve Base. At last check, the gust was 56 miles per hour. So right now, the main area, severe storms, is running from south of Peru all the way down to this nasty storm down in Clinton County, back down through Crawfordsville and Darlington. Now north of there, northwest of there, it is windy. I can hear the winds cranking up here at the station. There's a lot of rain. There may be a little thunder and lightning left over, but the only area that has evidence of really severe winds right now is this little line right here, and that's why we got the warning for northeast, White, northern Cass, and Fulton counties. Gusts here may be 50 to 60. Those are headed for Rochester. They're headed for northern Cass, northern Miami counties. Another area, which I don't want to forget, southeast Cass, eastern Miami County still has severe thunderstorm warning. Gusts plus 60 in here, and even some hail mixed in that will exceed pea, marble, nickel size. The tail end of this line up here in Fulton County goes back to Monticello. So even in Monticello, you may get another round of some plus 50 mile per hour gusts as this works southeastward, and that may also occur in northern Carroll County and central Cass County. We work back to the south, again, intense storms down here in Montgomery County. There's the storm in Clinton County that's still got the tornado warning on it. So let's go back to that storm. Right there it is. Again, the rotation is here. You can easily see it. It's like a semicircle. See the curly Q right here? Right there it is. Again, you may very well have damaging wind here. There could be a little hail where this dark red is, but right there is where we're rotating near Forest. Now, like I said, when this went over the Frankfort area, the rotation had broadened out quite a bit, and you can see it even here. It's broadened, but still do not let your guard down. I mean, we've got a little circulation here, there's a little circulation down here, and there's one down here. These actually look worse than that one right there. So, and there's the new tornado warning actually for those two worse areas of rotation. These little notches, see there's one right here, dark red, peach color right there, and dark red and peach color here. A lot of times on radar, depending on how the radar beam's oriented towards the storm, it may not be bright red and bright green couplet. You can have little notches just like this, where it's just really bright peach or white in color, and then you've got this kind of rust color. And that's looks like what we have right here. So tornado warning just east of Michigan Town and just to the west of Kempton. In this rural area right here, this would be 29, I believe. 29 runs through Michigan Town, and then you've got Highway 26 here. Make sure my mics aren't falling off here. And there you see the new polygons that are in this zone. And this particular storm, this is headed for Rushville in the city of Kokomo. So the part that's rotating and all the wind, 60 to 80 with it, this is moving up towards Rushville and Kokomo, and this part down here is going to leave our viewing area and affect Tipton County. So let's go ahead, for all our viewers out there watching us there in Howard County, I'm going to go ahead and put a storm track on it. I ought to just put a storm track on the whole thing, and we'll just do that. In Rushville, it's 2 minutes. Indian Heights, west side of Kokomo, it's 8 minutes. Kokomo, 11 minutes. Greentown, 18 minutes. And then out of the viewing area towards Sims and Swayze, it is about 25 to 26 minutes till that comes through. So high winds, dangerous high winds, and also potential tornado there. Let's go back down here. I've got a wind report down here. I bet this is the Crawfordsville Airport. Yeah, 59 miles an hour at the Crawfordsville Airport, wind gust. And again, like I said, once I wrap up coverage here, I'm going to go through all the wind gusts and all the damage and go through all that and see kind of what we had. And I can hear the wind blowing here, so I want to make it clear that 60 mile per hour gust at Peru, gust of 55 at Walton. All right, so let's go back here. What I want to do is just get rid of all this on my screen. And let's just do a quick recap, because as soon as these tornado warnings, new tornado warning, I believe that's brand new, yeah, for Howard County. So that's the storm we were talking about in Clinton County, now moving into Howard County. Right there is the tornado warning. Includes the town of Rushville, Indian Heights area, West Middleton area of Howard County. They're very close to Burlington. Burlington's here, intense storm going on there right now, but the circulation should pass just southeast of Burlington. So where we stand right now, as of about 10 after 11, is that we've got severe thunderstorm warnings for Miami County for winds more than 60. We still have the warning for this line up here for winds 50 to 60. There's your tornado warning for the circulation, couple circulations headed for Howard County. There's your severe thunderstorm warning southeast Montgomery for gusts potentially greater than 60. Then behind it, the severe weather threat is over, but keep in mind, it is quite windy back here. So you have so much rising air motion here, and this little mini low right here, you have such low pressure and rising motion here, the pressure's dropping back here pretty quickly. So we're actually getting some pretty strong winds just with the rain in Lafayette and Monticello and Fowler. Some of these gusts may reach up to 50 miles an hour. That is not out of the question. And there you see the back edge of the rain near Kankakee. So I would say by midnight, as expected, this is going to be out of here. We still got a little ways to go. It's 10 after 11, a little ways to go now, but we're getting there. It's windy, it's rainy, there's some thunder and lightning. It's a nasty night. Logansport, Delphi, Deer Creek, Camden, Frankfort, all the way back to Crawfordsville and northwestward. But the severe threat is over. Where it's not over is right here with the line eastward that runs from Burlington all the way to Grissom Air Reserve Base, south of Peru, and right around Michigan Town, and then back to south of Darlington. So let's go back to the tornado warning. We got a tornado warning for Rushville, West Middleton, Forest, very close to Burlington right now, and for the Kempton area, as well as Michigan Town. Right there, you see the polygons that are on the screen right as we speak. Got to be in your safe place with that polygon. If you're in the polygon, you got to be in your safe place. So here we go. There is, not only is it a line of damaging wind, but what I'm looking for here, I'm thinking of the orientation of the Indy radar, and I know that a tornado here doesn't look the same as a tornado out in Covington from a radar perspective. So right now, the best guess is, here's the city of Kokomo, Rushville's up here. It would be this ball right here, the dark reds, and this little white ball, and then also perhaps this little notch near Kempton. And again, the rotation signatures are completely wrapped in rain and wind and perhaps a little bit of hail. But this is going to move for the city of Kokomo and should be there within the next 10 or 15 minutes because it's moving so fast. It's moving at 60 miles an hour. No tornado has been confirmed. It's not been seen. It'd be very hard to see it anyway. So that's why the polygon is red, but nonetheless, that is a rotation signature that is headed for the city of Kokomo right now. And you can see it on the radar. From radar standpoint, right there is where it is. So we will stick with that. And I want to go back because a lot of times when you have a tornado, it will loft debris. It'll take metal, it'll take pieces of limbs, and the darker the debris or the color is at that radar beam level, the brighter the reflection, like pieces of metal, whatever it may be. So as we are looking at this storm, when it was passing south of Frankfort, it's got a little debris signature right there on it. And it may have lifted near Frankfort. See it right there? It may have lifted, but there was still some debris suspended there because you got to remember, this is a little ways from the radar down in Indy. I mean, you get 75 miles from the radar. The radar beam is about 8,000 feet up. You go about 50 miles, it's about 4,500 feet up. So whatever we had, this could be a debris signature that we had near Frankfort. Now I want to go back to when it was near Darlington and that area too, and you can see right there it is. Right there's the debris. That is a tornado. Right there is the debris signature near Colfax and south of Manson. So when we were seeing that velocity on radar locked in, that's a tornado and that is debris. So we very likely had a tornado down here, and whatever it was picking up, trees, limbs, wood, metal, whatever it may be, right there it is. Now if it were really deep blue, I would say it's loaded with metal, it's loaded with everything. The correlation coefficient isn't overly high, but it's right there. And if we go back, it popped up right there northwest of Darlington. You can see it right there, and then worked in this direction. So what we're seeing here is likely tornado that picked up debris. There it is when it's got the most debris, south of 52 near Colfax. There it is, southwest of Frankfort. There's the green blob near Frankfort. It's still got debris up in the storm as it was moving over Frankfort. Now, it doesn't mean we had a tornado on the ground at Frankfort. It just means at radar beam level, we had pieces of debris in that storm. And then you can see it moving off to the east. It grows more diffuse as it goes to the northeast. Or right there it is. So at this point right now, what the radar is telling us is that we had debris in this storm. We had a debris signature. There could be a little bit of debris left up in the storm. It almost looks like it's up in the mesocyclone. You know the wall cloud that rotates? This just may be debris that's in the wall cloud that's been pulled up into the storm and is still visible around Rusheville right now. But we definitely had a debris signature in that storm, so very likely tornado right there. The problem with trying to view debris in the Benton County storm is that it is so far south of the radar. And we were trying to view debris from that site as the storms were going through. So we'll go back here, we'll go back the last 4 hours, if this will update. There it is. And let's go back here. And we'll tap that off the screen. We have barns down in the Colfax area, which that makes sense. That's where the debris, that's exactly where the debris signature was. So I have no doubt we've got damage. We've got barns down, trees down, structural damage around Colfax. That was a very tight signature and a debris signature near Colfax as well. When we look at the signature here in Benton County that we had earlier, I don't know whether I can get, we're trying to find if there was debris in that storm, and if we've got anything, it would be right here from the storm we had near Hoopeston. It's not as tight as the storm near Manson. Yep, that's debris right there. Looks like a debris signature that we had earlier northeast of Fowler. So there was very likely a tornado in Benton County tonight because that is debris. And let's go forward, and then it kind of disappears, but we're also kind of moving away from the radar. Now this is pretty far from the radar. I believe, what have I got this on? This is the, okay, that's the Chicago radar. That's the Indianapolis radar. And there's your debris right there near Fowler. That was the debris signature. So a tornado hit, it picked up debris, pulled it up into the cloud, and the radar caught it. And we've got houses, reported houses down in Colfax. That could be heavily damaged or destroyed, or roof down and maybe some walls collapsed. But I just got a report of houses down in Colfax. And if we can get any information on Benton County, that'd be great, because this sure looks like we had a tornado in Benton County a little earlier. And then the debris signature goes away. You can see it go away. So if I had my pick tonight, we had at least 2 tornadoes, one in Benton County and one down near Darlington through Colfax and near Frankfort. And that shows up on, it showed up well on radar. You know, like I've always said, if those colors are locking like Tetris or a Lego, and they're bright like that, you've more than likely got a tornado. Well, then we need to look and say, okay, did debris show up in the storm? Do we have debris in the storm now? You lock it all together and you can say, yes, we had a tornado, and then it's backed up by an NWS survey. Right now, wind and rain and some thunder and lightning back here, but no severe weather out here. We're done with it. And Logan, not quite in Logansport, we still have the tail end of this line, but if you're well west of Logansport, like say Lake Secret all the way back to Chalmers, Monticello, you're fine. We're okay in Lafayette. It's just windy and it's rainy. The biggest issues right now, one is this little squall line right here that's producing winds of 50 to 60. This line did overturn semis near Rensselaer, and then we've got the severe thunderstorm warning that, well, these storms are out of Clinton County. Technically, you've got a severe thunderstorm warning, but it's out of Clinton County. The storm right now is Kokomo. This is the storm that's got the tornado warning on it, and you can see right there, again, kind of a broad rotation. There may be a little circulation down here where we got the green and the red. They're not tight though, they're not locking. And then this little curlicue up here, these two areas of rotation, kind of northeast side of Kokomo and the southwest side of Kokomo. And again, it's very diffuse debris signature here. This is kind of how it was in a lot of Benton County. But what you're seeing is no strong debris signature. Whatever is here, at least right now, is old debris that came from the Colfax area, from homes and barns. There's a little bit of that here, and this may be a little bit right here. Is what we're seeing. We've got to keep, if this starts to brighten up, we know we're kicking up more debris. So we need to watch that storm in Kokomo very, very closely. It is going to pass very close to Greentown and should impact Amboy and Converse here in just a bit. But I want to go back. First things first, Clinton County, you're in better shape. We're okay. The severe weather risk is over. It's windy, it's raining, and there's thunder and lightning, but the severe weather risk is over. There has been an apparent tornado in Clinton County. I want to show you this. Right here is the tornado developing. That's debris right there near Darlington. And then if we look at the track, right here, generally the darker the color, the more debris that you're kicking up. Now, you're in a rural area here, so you're just going to be kicking up a lot of trees and corn stalks, but also barn debris and some homes. If you had a tornado in a city, this is going to look darker. Or if you had a stronger tornado, this signature is going to be a dark blue. But watch the signature right here, that little spot right there, that's right near Colfax. That is a debris signature. That's debris that the tornado has picked up, hurled it in the air, and at this point that would be that's about a mile up. We're throwing debris a mile up. Right there it is near Colfax. And I can zoom in on that area right there. So there's your debris. Here's Colfax. This is where we have reports of homes that they're either heavily damaged. We've got barns, I know, that are reportedly down in this area. And then we look ahead and you can track it upstream. We still have a debris signature southwest of Frankfort, but it's not as pronounced. And then once it gets into Frankfort, now it brightens up right there, so it makes me think we may have had another touchdown out here very close to the city of Frankfort. And then the debris signature moves right through the south side of Frankfort, right there. That's either debris that's still up or we had a touchdown on the south side of Frankfort. So we have two storms tonight that had definite debris signatures. One was Benton County, near Fowler, and especially northeast Benton County, and then the other was down here from Darlington over to near Frankfort. And I'm sure we'll have surveys going on tomorrow and beyond into the weekend to put a damage rating on that. So it is, let's see, we've got 11:23, and our CBS show would be about over in 7 minutes anyway. We still have the tornado warning up for Howard County. We're going to stick with that tornado warning. We now have a new tornado warning for southeast Miami County too, and that's for the storm that's right over Kokomo. This is the storm that produced the very likely tornado near Frankfort, Colfax, the Manson area, and then all the way down to Darlington. And right there it is. It's pretty much right over the city of Kokomo right as we speak, or just on kind of on the east side. Moving towards Greentown, moving towards Converse, moving towards Amboy. And right there it is. It's not the best signature, but you can see one little area here that's rotating, this little curlicue, and this little bright spot here, this little node, if you will, just on the east side of Kokomo. So it's these two areas that may have brief tornadoes that are racing to the northeast right now. It's exiting the city of Kokomo right now, but those are the areas that have the tornado warning. So Technically, Rushville, you got a tornado warning, Kokomo tornado warning, but the part that's rotating is exiting those areas now, and the tornado warning out here can be dropped. But Greentown's still under the warning. Converse and Amboy, you're still under the tornado warning up here as the storm moves to the east-northeast. There's another little look at it. Again, it's a little messy looking, but this is not the best radar vantage point. Again, we got a little donut hole here, a little node here south of Greentown, another one north of Greentown, another Converse. So just in the entire polygon, you got to be in your safe place, you got to be in your basement, you got to be in an interior room or the lowest floor of your house. But the good news is there is nothing else behind here. We got a lot of wind reports here and damage reports, but it is winding down. It's 11:25. We're going to have this thing completely out of here before midnight. And that's the good news. We can sleep easy tonight. Still a rather brisk night, but the rain will pull away and skies will clear, and it's much colder tomorrow. Looks like another new report up here. This is up in the Rochester area. This kind of just gives you an idea of what we had this evening, and several trees down across the southern part of the county. We had the 1-inch hail at Darlington. We had the 59-mile-per-hour wind gust at the Crawfordsville Airport. 1-inch hail at Rainsville. Looks like we got 2 structures flattened to the basement at Battleground. Several other structures with roofs blown off near the junction of Benton and Tippecanoe counties. 1-inch hail. Also reported near US 231. So this was an area that we likely had hurricane force winds. We had remember the rotation signature? It did go through southwest White County. We didn't have a really good debris signature per se. That is also a very rural area. So it may not be very easy for a tornado to pick up a lot of debris that shows up really well. I can go back to that and check. But again, this is the kind of magnitude of reports that we're going to be getting later tonight and into tomorrow. Structures damaged, structures flattened. We've got barns destroyed, homes down near the Colfax area. There's going to be more of these reports that will be coming in. I will go back and look at that storm in White County real quick because it's 11:27. I think about 11:30 here. I'm going to wrap this up. Once we get that signature out of eastern Howard County, we're going to wrap the coverage up. I'll go back to our velocity, and there we go. Oh, here we go. We'll go back over a period of time here, last 4 hours. Okay, so let's see. There we go. So there is the debris signature near Fowler, likely tornado right there. Let's move that forward. And it kind of moves it. There's some debris up here. Kind of moves it up towards Wolcott, right in this area here. And then we move beyond that point. A little bit of a signature here. So it is possible that this was a tornado in this zone right here, because you see there's a little debris here and you can see some of the reports kind of lining up near that area. It's hard to tell. Certainly surveys will be done. Now this is not bright blue or white like the Colfax signature was, but you can still see there's a little signature here of something being lofted up from what could have been a tornado down in this area. So, we had at least 2. That's what I would say right now. There may have been more. We may have had one here, then it lifted, then it touched down again. So quite a night. This has been quite a night. This has been quite an outbreak for us. And you can see, I'll broaden out all the damage reports that we've got. Look at this. This is a big, big outbreak. And we still have warnings going on south of our area even tonight. One last check here. Again, the tornado warning does continue. Does continue for eastern Howard County, southeast Miami County. A little bit longer. And let's go up. And we'll go back to our radar data on our screen. All right, right there it is, and we'll move this forward. There we go. So there it is. It's far eastern Howard County now. It's about out of our area. It's right over Greentown and Converse. That's the area it's got the tornado warning. And those are the two tight rotation areas. We've got one south of Greentown and one north of it. Again, I'm always looking in these situations when you've got these squall lines, what you're looking for the tornado is signatures like that, where you just have the red there at updated, but the red or pink intrude, and then you have a little bright green signature. So these two areas right here, east of Greentown, moving towards Sims, and the other one, there's another one up here around Converse moving in that general direction. And we can put on our debris data here, and there is a debris signature. So we may very well have at least one tornado on the ground here. And right there's the signature just southeast of Greentown, right there. And watch it move to the northeast. So I'm going to go back. Right there it is. See it? Just south of Greentown. Then we will go forward. So we may have had a brief tornado here. You can see the signature right here just to the west of Sims. That's that little debris signature tracking just right there by Greentown, right in the zone. So that would make number 3. If we may have had at least three tornadoes tonight. I mean, I'm just using a radar. The experts at the Weather Service will examine all this, and they will do surveys and determine what happened. But from a radar perspective, I can tell you that we've got 3 signatures that show debris being pulled up tonight, and we had really 3 signatures where the velocity was just tight. And this storm had a history of that, where very tight, very likely tornado, and there it is. It's kind of starting to fade maybe a hair, but if we get a tornado, it's now moving into Grant County, right here north of Sims and to the southeast of Converse. So, yep, new tornado warning right there for Grant County, and that's now out of our viewing area. So it's 11:32. This is a time we can wrap up because the threat is coming to an end. It's been a long night. It's been a long day. The threat is just a little bit longer here near Converse in Miami County, and then we're done. And tomorrow will be a colder day, but there's going to be a lot of damage assessment. There's quite a bit of damage out there tonight. Be aware if you're traveling early in the morning or you're out tonight, say you work like a late night shift, watch for trees on roadways. There could be power lines down in some areas. And what I'm going to do is our new meteorologist, Anna Taylor, starts tomorrow morning. Now, I didn't want to put her on air in a situation. It's her first day, and you have all these damage reports, and you've got a high wind event tomorrow, or at least a strong wind event, gusts 45 to 55. I didn't want to put her in that situation. That's a lot when you first start. I remember my first day on air. So I'm going to come in the morning and introduce her on air. And I'll try to get some damage reports together for her. So you don't want to miss News 18 this morning for any damage reports we've got out there, in addition to what we've already talked about. And we'll introduce Anna at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to kind of get her ready to go. I was going to come in and just do the show, but she may end up doing the show. I'm going to come in anyway, but I just didn't want to put her in a position that first day, oh my goodness, we had a moderate risk and a big outbreak the night before. So I appreciate everybody watching this evening. Stay safe out there. Know that the severe weather threat is ending. The rain's going to come to an end. And be aware of the strong winds tomorrow and the much colder temperatures with a few rain and snow showers. Check Facebook. Check my blog. I'll be posting all the reports here in the coming hours.
This has been a Storm Team 18 Severe Weather